The ad strategy I'm about to show you in this video is going to help you get from 6 to 7 figures with your e-commerce brand. Now, advertising as a whole has gone through various waves of changes this year, and we've seen the downfall of dynamic creatives being faded out by Facebook. Now we've had flexible ads, which personally I've kind of publicly been against since they came out, as very hard, honestly, to break down the performance of them. So what are we using now to set up our ad accounts? How does an ad account look like in a high 6 or low 7-figure brand? Well, I want to show you exactly the way that we've handled that in today's video. So if you're new to the channel, you don't yet know who I am. My name is Justin, and I'm the founder at paidadvertising.com, an online marketing growth firm specializing in elevating thriving D2C brands by simplifying e-commerce ads. Let's get straight into today's video. So that said, those are a couple e-commerce clients of ours that you're going to see on screen. So I'm going to show you kind of 3 different ad accounts, which all 3 have like their own kind of specialty, if you want, and it's going to show you the evolution of our ad accounts throughout this summer. I feel like the last 2 to 4 months have just been a whirlwind of updates on Meta. So this account you're seeing right now is actually operating under the same kind of DCT and CBO method that I used to recommend a couple of months ago before dynamic creative testing was announced to be discontinued. So you can see it right here, like your top spending campaign as of right now still is a DCT campaign. I'm going to open it up in a second, but I still do the same exact structure that I've been recommending on a channel, which is 1 campaign per product, country, and or region. So in this case, we've had a campaign for the Australian and New Zealand market in itself called Concept Testing, launch on May 9th of this year. This month to date, actually spent about $4,000, which is roughly a fourth of our ad spend on this client account. This client ad account actually has 2 ad account live at the same time. We're closer to like $25,000 in ad spend so far. We're spending around roughly 40 to 50K a month on this client's business on Meta purely, and then we also do TikTok and Google. So this one in itself, if I select this campaign and then go to the ad set level, so you can kind of see there, this is our DCT structure that we used to be using, which essentially is we don't have like a winning ad set anymore. I mean, we've stopped that, and I've shared that on the channel quite some time ago, but we do 1 ad set. Every ad set has a dynamic creative test. If I open up to the ad level in itself, what we end up with is the ad in itself, which now you could just simply click on the ad, go to breakdown, go to scroll down dynamic creative element. I could go image, and then you would see like the 3 images in this ad, or the 3 videos in this case. You would do text, you would see like the 2 ad copies, and then you would go headline, and then you would see the 2 ad headlines. Essentially, that's we've had right there. So again, our 3-2-2 method. So 3 creatives, 2 pieces of copy, 2 headlines. This account still is running that because this is actually still available as an option on this account. So if I go by amount spent, you can see again that they're all within a CBO. Facebook is automatically allocating the budget. We've got quite a few ads honestly getting spent as of right now. We have like roughly, I mean, if I select all of those, we have a total of 23 unique ads getting spent on this account, or in this campaign, I should say, as of right now. And then in terms of like the ones actually getting sales, it's not all. It's about like, I would say not half, but let's just say 15 roughly at a quick glance right here that are getting sales. And you can see like the top ad is getting about a quarter of this campaign's ad spend automatically attributed to it, which this ad's been live for some time, since right now we're at like DCT 181, I believe, is one of our latest one that we've launched. So meaning that this one probably is about 2 months old or something. So clearly a winning ad. So that's one of the structures that we've been using for the longest time, but it's also one that is getting discontinued again with dynamic creatives going away. So how have that evolved? Well, it's evolved into one of 2 structures that we have across most of our accounts. So this account, you can actually see it right here. It is still a pretty decent performing campaign. It's not the top campaign by any means, but you can see that they're, if I'm highlighting these 2, they're actually like 2nd in terms of ad spend and 4th in terms of ad spend on the account. It's an Advantage Plus campaign, right? So if I select this one as an example, I go to ad sets, there's 1 ad set, again, a broad ad set because it's an Advantage Plus campaign, and all of our ads are inside of it right here. So again, quite interesting. Advantage Plus is something that we've seen working on a lot of our accounts. Not every account, for some reason, we're able to make Advantage Plus work with, but nowadays we're either with Advantage Plus shopping campaign, which you can see this account we've transitioned to slowly but surely. This campaign, as an example, was launched on July 18th, right? When we started noticing that these CTs were going away. So you have that right there. If I go to this other account, which is another client of ours, this one right here has 2 campaigns right there, which again, Advantage Plus shopping campaigns. They're getting all the ad spend. You might notice on these latest 2, you see a target ROAS here. We're just doing a few tests on a few ad accounts right now to see if target ROAS is of any usefulness or not. But on a lot of our accounts that we're testing it with, actually, we're actually getting better results on campaigns which we're not using target ROAS. So I'm not even going to talk about that in today's video. So this campaign too, Advantage Plus shopping campaign, quite straightforward. Again, same structure, meaning 1 campaign per product, market, and or country or region. So as you can see right now, like this account, very, very simple structure. Apart from this one, which is just a separate test, we have 2 A+ campaigns, 1 per a different product line that we have. If you open it up right here, 1 ad set, a broad ad set, right? Which is the case with like all Advantage Plus shopping campaigns, and all the ads we would have for that client are within the same campaign. Now, what do we follow? We follow a structure. It's like 1 creative variation. So instead of being a 3-2-2, it's a 1-2-2 method. So it's 1 creative, 2 pieces of copy, 2 headlines. So that's what we follow on an account like this. And then also quite interesting, before I move on to the last structure that we have right now, and now before I actually move on to this final structure that we're using right now, I wanted to show you Atria, which I've been using a lot more of in the last few weeks, which actually this is another ad account of ours that I'm showcasing the results for. It's one of their latest features, which think of it as a mix, as if Motion app and Foreplay had a kid together, and here comes Atria in itself, which you can do creative analysis and like inspo and swap file research on there. Which one thing that I find quite interesting is, would you be using dynamic creative test or an A+ campaign as an example? They actually have like some AI features which they show you, they automatically, like if it's a video or a photo, they'll analyze the asset and they'll output like some of the ad angles you have, and essentially they'll show you like ad angles by a specific metric. So you could go like ad angles, an example, by spend or by ROAS in this case, which you can kind of see right here, or spend to ROAS ratio, so on and so forth. And if I kind of scroll down right here, same thing, they'll show you very similar to Motion app in itself, like video hooks and such, but at like a fraction of the cost, which I have a link in the description down below if you want to check them out right now. Now, moving on to the last account right here. This one is more of a, I call it a manual DCT method, which this is one of our brand new client. They just came on. We just started them like 2 days ago at the time of recording this video. So very little ad spend. It's a brand new ad account too. So like we're dealing with some spending limits on a day-to-day basis. But if I open those up right here, again, 1 campaign per product line and or collection, that hasn't changed. So you can see that right here. But the difference is this, is we're actually like 1 ad set is 1 concept. And when you go inside of that concept, it's actually like we're just splitting the dynamic creative test, which means it's still a 3-2-2 method. So in other words, the way I see it is right now, it's 1 concept, each ad variation, and I'm going to open those up so you can see that right here. Each ad variation in itself is uploaded as a standalone ad, meaning right now in 1 ad set, let's say DCT4, I have my 3 variations of my same ad. So variation 1, 2, and 3, which usually is going to be like a hook or like a concept headline variation. Each of these ads, they all share the same 2 primary text, so 2 copies, and the same 2 headlines. Why? Well, nowadays, you still can go to breakdown and do dynamic creative element and then go text as an example, and then break it down by your best performing piece of copy as an example, right? So that being said, breaking down by text and headline still works. It's the breaking down by dynamic creative element with like the creative, which a flexible ad does not allow nowadays, which is why we're using this kind of manual DCT method. And you might have noticed that this is an ABO campaign. For that, we're still split testing. Some of our accounts were running like this manual DCT with an ABO, others with a CBO. But the fundamentals behind that is that we're still going broad with all of our ad sets. Well, when I say broad, I mean I can literally show you right now for this client as an example. If I go here, I scroll down, targeting is literally just no age like range. It's just US and Canada as a whole, and that's it, right? So it's literally super simple targeting in itself, which we know the pressures at the creative level, which is what we want ultimately. Both of these structures, again, recapping what I've shared so far, the new and updated structure that we are using is either an Advantage Plus shopping campaign, which by default, you know, is broad, right? Like by default, a campaign like this is a broad campaign. So we're limiting the targeting that we have in itself, or we're limiting the targeting changes that we do is what I should say in this video. So we're doing demographic and or gender and location. But as you've seen, like sometimes we don't even change gender nor demographic. We're purely going to use location targeting only, especially if the product has like a wide appeal in itself. So broad targeting, simple campaign structure, either as an A+, one campaign per product, country, market, and or region. And then at the ad level, we're simply testing a 1-2-2 method if it's in A+ campaign, so one creative variation with 2 pieces of copy, 2 headlines, or a manual DCT, which right here, it's still a 3-2-2 method. So it's one campaign per country, market, and or region, one ad set per concept. And at the ad set level, or at the ad level, I should say, is 3 ads, 2 pieces of copy, 2 headlines. All 3 ads are about the same concept, just one small variation per each of these ads, which you can see right here. It's pretty much the same text and stuff, just with like a different background on the ad. Typically, the variation we're going to test the most is either the hook, the concept headline, and or like the main visual. So like the image, perhaps if it's a static in itself. And you've seen like 3 different accounts, right? You've seen one that is spending about 40 to 50 grand a month, another one spending about 20 to 30 grand a month, and this one brand new, fresh out of the factory, just starting to spend with like about like a $70 a day. So again, this works for various styles of businesses. We've seen that being able to scale even north of $10,000 to $14,000 a day, which we've had on our accounts this year, supported by either an A+ or a manual DCT campaign. Now, with that being said, if you made it all the way through this video, you are an e-commerce business owner wanting to work with a paid ads partner on a done-for-you basis, check out a link down below and book in a call to speak with our team at paidadvertising.com today. I'd love to help you out with your Meta, TikTok, and or Google ads. And if you want one-on-one consulting with myself and my head of strategy at paidadvertising.com, you want us personally to review your ads, review your strategy, help you grow your business as a whole, then check out a second link in the description down below to join our ad engine one-on-one consulting. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video all the way through. I invite you to check out other videos on the channel for some more useful marketing tips, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.